Well, a very warm welcome to you again, whatever part of the globe you may be joining us from. This is the program, Transforming Lives One at a Time. I am your host, Dianne. Of course, always happy to be in your space, in your homes, in your workplaces, in your cars, wherever you may be viewing the program at this time. You can catch us on all our social media platforms. We're on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and of course, Facebook. Transforming Lives One at a Time. We are coming to you from beautiful Tobago in the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Today we'll be talking about wise financial planning and how we can best navigate in these economic times as I introduce my guest. Lisa Frank-Phillips is a dedicated financial professional, certified in both personal financial management as well as accounting services. Lisa acquired her certificates from CTS College of Business and Computer and School of Practical Accounting and Accounting Services. She is also a licensed insurance agent with one of the most reputable companies in the region. Lisa is also a wife, a mother, and a Christian. Lisa, so happy to have you and welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me and good day, viewers.
Yes. A couple weeks ago, I did a program, Relationship is Serious Business. And as I was thinking about you coming today, I was saying to myself, financial matters are serious business. Yes. No, financial matter is a serious business.
Yes,
Yes, definitely. Well, as we get ready to talk money matters, you would hear persons saying over and over again, I just cannot afford to save. I have too many bills, I have too many commitments, making it practically impossible to save. What would you say to this kind of rhetoric?
So what I would say is don't try to do it on your own will. Start doing automotive so that it set up a standing order and to go straight to your savings, your investment, whatever you have. So you wouldn't see that money. So you wouldn't say, okay, I have this in my hand, I'll go ahead and use it. Once you send it to where it's supposed to go, you're not saying it, so you would not use it. So do automotive savings, investments. Send it straight to where it's supposed to go.
Wow, well, that's very interesting. I didn't even... Because once the cash is out of sight, it's like out of mind.
Exactly. You will use what you have in your hand.
Yes. Well, that's a very, very innovative way, I must say.
Yes. And if it's to say you're not getting paid like to the bank or any financial institution, be disciplined enough to say, okay, this is what I'm going to save. This is what I'm going to invest. Be disciplined enough to put it aside one time.
Okay.
Don't use it. Put it aside one time. So this is what that most people who is really disciplined will do.
Right. So let's delve into the importance of making a budget and some of the areas to be seriously considered.
Okay. So budgeting is the foundation of financial planning. All areas are seriously be considered. But if you're not accustomed making a budget, here's where we'll start. You know how much is your income. During the month, track all your expenses.
Okay.
If you buy a water, you buy a sweetie, anything you use your money for, make sure you write it down. Or we have apps now that you could just plug it in.
Yes.
Right? So you keep track of your expenses. So next month, okay, I spend $200 for food. I did. So now you can make a proper budget. Right? Now, the one that I like is a zero-based budget. What does that mean? What it means is that you know how much is your income.
Right.
Start planning before you get the money into your hand. So, okay, utilities is this amount.
Right.
You start writing it down. Grocery, this amount, you start writing it down. Make sure when you reach to the bottom, it's zero. If you have a surplus, put it on like a debt. If you have deficit, reduce your expenses. So it gives you a clear picture of how you're going to spend your money.
Okay. Because I know some persons would say, the salary ain't reached yet. but it feels sharing it in front of a
Fan. Yes.
it's like it just goes. It's like
Yeah.
where because I mean you talk about food and stuff like that, but sometimes you impromptu you probably go out on a weekend or something. You have to put aside what is for entertainment.
Exactly. And I always say miscellaneous is the one that eats up your money.
Okay.
So, for example, you're going into the supermarket and they say, okay, I'm going to buy a bread. But walking down the aisle, you see milk, you see sugar, and you're picking up, oh, I need this home, I need this home. You did not cater for that.
Okay.
That eats up your money. That is the thing that, oh, my money gone.
Yeah.
Make sure you put aside some for miscellaneous,
Right.
entertainment. Put these things in your budget as well. We do not cater for it, and that is why we just lose track of our monies. So cater for everything. So that was a zero-based budget.
Right.
Put everything in your budget. When you reach the bottom, it's like, okay, I told my money exactly where I want it to go.
Right.
Yeah?
That really speaks about discipline. Well, I would like us to bring into, well, we started talking about it already, but the issue of priorities and discipline, especially in one's early years. Let's say a young couple now starting their life together. How do they balance? They're just trying to figure out their finances. How do they balance it? What would you suggest as a good approach to their finances?
Have money dates.
Money?
Dates.
Okay.
Is that how we have going to the movie dates?
Right.
Have money dates where you will sit down and be open, non-judgmental about your money styles. So I want to know, are you a spender? Are you a saver? What is your debts? How much is your debts? If you have debt,
Okay.
get these all out into the open. When we reach and we all lovey-dovey and we comfortable, be open.
Yes.
Be open about your financial situation. Don't just push it aside. Because when we're going out, okay, my girlfriend is looking nice, my missus is looking nice, but you're not thinking like, I wonder how much she's spending on these clothes.
Right.
Right? So have money dates. And don't have it like you have it once a you have it like once a month.
Okay.
Life change. So family might start, baby coming, new house, a new car. You have to go back now and do a review.
Okay.
You set budget together. You might have if you want to do bank accounts jointly, if you want to have your individual and then you have one where you will do all the spending and expenses from that account.
Okay.
All these things you have to put in place
Right.
so that you wouldn't have no confrontation and
Yes.
arguments about money. Yeah, make it clear from in front. And you continue to review, you continue to adjust as you go along.
Right. So these are critical conversations.
Yes.
It's not just about where you'd like to travel to go to, and even traveling, of
If
course,
this-
is an expense.
Exactly. And if you decide to do that, make sure you sit and talk about it. How much are we going to put on traveling for 2026?
Right.
Are we going to spend Christmas in Tobago? How much we're going to put on that? Have conversations, open conversation
Right.
about financial situation. And then again, if we have loans, it's not my loan only. It become
Our
a
loan.
couple. It's our loan. You sit down and you put all of that in place.
Wow. A lot of food for thought, eh? Especially now starting a family and starting a new journey. You have to not only think about the other areas, but also financial, which is, I believe, very, very crucial. In simple terms, what is the first step individuals should take towards a structured and wise financial plan?
Have an emergency fund.
Okay.
A lot of us do not have an emergency fund. A lot of us think, okay, we're working day to day. And yes, but things happen. Life happens all the time. and unexpected things happen.
Yeah.
So have an emergency fund. We will say, as financial experts, 3 to 6 months expenses. I will say start where you can. Okay, if you cannot put that 3 to 6 months together, you can put $500.
Right.
Start building on that. And if you can find accounts that have high yielding interest, put it there so your money will grow faster.
Okay.
That's your security blankets. So anything happens, you know you have that security fund, emergency fund set aside for that. A lot of people don't do it, but it's very, very important.
Correct, because just a couple weeks ago as well, I was having a conversation. This young man had lost his job, and it happened so unexpectedly.
Exactly.
And for someone who would have been living more or less paycheck to paycheck, when that time came, it was a lot of frustration. He actually started to go into depression because he was a breadwinner of the home. So in terms of that, creating that emergency fund, as you put it, is very, very vital for the upkeep of the home.
Exactly.
Yes, and for you to have that kind of comfort, knowing that if something happens, at least be good for the next 2 months, or at least which will give you some time to come up with a plan.
Exactly.
Come up with a plan. Wow, that is it.
The insurance agent will say, peace of mind.
Yeah. Listen, you can't buy that, huh? Exactly. Peace of mind, very, very important. Well, Lisa, we cannot be naive as it relates to money matters, that some crucial things are often overlooked. You tend to not even study that, as we say in layman terms. Let's talk about some common mistakes individuals make regarding their finances.
So the first one is procrastination. And it might sound very funny, but a lot of times what we do is that we say, okay, I'll do this next week.
Okay.
Next month, we put aside savings for this. I'll do that next month. And like years will pass and you're saying, I am going to do it.
Okay.
And as the years pass, there's a thing we call compound interest. So when you start to save in some of the high yielding interest accounts, you miss out on compound interest, which is interest on your principal, interest on your interest, and it keeps growing. So when you procrastinate, you basically lose out on that. That's one. Another thing we do is that we do not put our savings, and I spoke about it earlier, to be automated.
Okay.
So again, when we see the cash, we start spending.
Yes.
Right? And then you go into that place, as I just mentioned about the young man, is that he didn't get the financial advice to do things like that.
Yeah.
What you see, you spend. Right? So these are some of the things that we do not take into consideration that we should take into consideration.
Of course, and it is always said that procrastination is a thief of time.
Exactly.
I will do it next week. I will do it next year. I will start saving towards the emergency fund. And before you know it, a year and 2 years have elapsed. And then you look back and you say, wow, after 2 years, I don't even have a $10 savings.
Exactly.
Wow. But some persons would say it's just so difficult. But again, the word discipline.
I just was about to say that discipline.
We come back to that word discipline.
You have to be disciplined.
Yes, and you have to be intentional.
Yes.
This is what I'm going to do.
Exactly.
This is a plan.
Exactly.
Yes. Well, it is no secret, because we constantly talking about it, that the average person know that I should save, I should save. They know that they should invest. They know that they should keep something for the rainy day. This is all things that we know. Keep something for the rainy day. Many times it is not done for many, many reasons. What are some measures individuals can adopt to maintain that discipline to save And as my brother Derek would say, that stick-to-itivity to the plan. Yeah, he invented that word. That stick-to-itivity to the plan. How?
Okay. Once you make a budget, firstly, as I said, that's foundation. Stick to your budget. If you're going to spend money on food, this amount, $500 for food, stick to it.
Okay.
$200 savings, stick to it. No matter how hard it is, stick to it. Investment, that is what builds your wealth.
Okay.
Make sure you have some form of investment portfolio. Make sure. And, just be disciplined. Actually, everything that we do in life, you have to be disciplined. It is hard. Sometimes you're crying.
Yes.
But you have to be disciplined. For example, we have to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Sometimes we don't want to get up. But we do. We get up, we bathe, we dress up, and we go to work.
Yes.
Right? We are disciplined enough to do this. Be disciplined enough to do the same thing with your savings. And something else to motivate you, look at it as paying yourself first.
Okay.
Because we go, we pay the utilities, we pay everything else, we go to the grocery. Yes, it is good, it is fine. The hardest thing is to pay yourself.
Yeah.
Listen to Dr. Miles Monroe motivation, and he said it. He said the hardest thing that people find to do is to pay themselves. They don't want to pay themselves.
Right.
Who getting up and go to work?
Exactly.
Who dressing up and looking all fancy every morning?
Yeah.
It's you.
Right.
Who driving the car? It's you. Pay yourself first. Be disciplined. So when you say, okay, I'm paying myself first. And I always come back to this. The example where we call with men when they say, hey, I get paid, I go in and buy a little bit.
Right.
So you get vexed, right? You say, where are you going in the wrong shop? He's paying himself first that way.
Okay, interesting.
That's
putting himself first.
Exactly. Okay. That is what he likes to do. Even though he's a chop, pay yourself first. If savings, big save. Investment, invest. Motivate yourself. This is for me.
Right. Wow. Sometimes we think about so many other things. We think about everybody else, and then we put ourselves last. Okay, well, if after I take care of the children, if after I put in gas in the car, after I pay tea and tech and wasa and my loan, if there is anything left, well, maybe I might buy a little chocolate.
Exactly. No, do it first.
Okay.
You come first. Satisfy yourself first.
Right. You are working hard for the money.
Exactly. And very well. For some reason it didn't happen this month.
Yes.
Make sure you double up next month.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, because as I said, life happens, right?
Yeah.
So you might be able to do it this month. Next month is coming. Be purposeful. Be intentional.
Very well.
Double up.
Very well. I like that. Well, at this time, we're going to take our first short break, and we'll be right back. You're viewing Transforming Lives one at a time. Stay with us.
If you're wondering where to find top-tier quality tiles and products to refurbish or renovate your wall, floor, or pool, well, your worry is over. Come to D-Cell's Tile and Ceiling Center, Store Bay Local Road, opposite the Bonnecourt Primary School, Tobago, where you will find porcelain, mosaic, and ceramic tiles of the highest quality guaranteed. D-Cell's Tile and Ceiling Center also stocks thinset, grout, tile cutters, and yes, windows. Plus, a friendly smile and service that's second to none awaits you. So forget the hassle and get all the quality tiles you need right here in Tobago at D-Cell's Tile and Ceiling Center. Call us today at 460-8802, 639-8281. Opens Monday to Saturday from 9 a.m.
Do you need electrical and plumbing supplies from construction to finish? Then check out Voodoo's Enterprises Limited, Milford Road, Canaan, Tobago. Get LED bulbs and fixtures, septic tanks, water pumps, laminate flooring, Prescott power tools, and so much more. Open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. Call 280-2050 or 660-4970. Voodoo's Enterprises Limited. Tobago, Tobago. It's time once again for the highly anticipated KPPM's 4th Annual Business Expo, Saturday, 1st November from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Birchwood Legacy Park in Lowlands, Tobago. Come out in your numbers and get familiar with various businesses as they display their goods and services, from jewelry to plants, draperies to household items, tiles to beautiful clothing, and so much more. Delicacies, food, and drinks will also be on sale. Don't you miss this. KPPM's Business Expo, Saturday, 1st November, Birchwood Legacy Park, Lowlands. Call 376-8798.
Hi, I am Dianne, host of Transforming Lives One at a Time, and I would like to introduce you to our brand new segment, Good Vibes, Good News. And this is where you have the opportunity to highlight your good news. You can send your 90 seconds video to our WhatsApp number 868-701-2099. That's 868-701-2099. Let's hear some of the good news that we never hear about. Good vibes, good news. Inspiring hope. Celebrating wins. Truly grateful.
Welcome back to the program. Today we are talking wise financial planning. My guest, Lisa Frank-Phillips. Lisa, we cannot talk money and finances and not touch on high interest debts, like credit cards, of course, very popular, for instance, because as you know, swiping a card is the easy part, right?
Exactly.
Paying back before the interest kicks in is where it all unfolds. So let's talk about this aspect because, of course, we're in fact talking about wise financial planning.
Right. So I will say for credit cards, again, be disciplined. Make sure you pay before the interest goes up. And what do I mean by that is there's a date that you're supposed to pay,
Right.
right? And pay your minimum. But if you can't pay more so that the interest wouldn't be too much, please do so.
Okay.
So that you manage your credit card properly. Again, it's all about discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we know that the credit card, as you've rightfully said, we easy to swipe.
Yeah.
Have an emergency fund as a backup, please.
Right. Yeah, because some persons would say, well, I had an emergency came up and I just had to swipe and I couldn't pay back on time. So the interest and that kind of thing. So it's a practical thing, huh?
It is.
And even as we're talking credit card, I mean, no longer are credit cards a luxury, but it's now a necessity because sometimes you want to book a hotel, you want to plan a vacation, you want to even rent a car. Some time ago, I was in Trinidad and, well, I know that, but it's like most, if not all, you have to get your credit card.
Yes.
If you don't have your credit card, you just simply cannot rent a car. And that is in Trinidad. Much less when we travel abroad, you know. So we may think, well, oh, credit card, I don't want a credit card but for the outer world, it is definitely a necessity. Some places, even in Canada, some places, they just would not do business with you if you don't have a credit card.
That's true.
You know, so we can't just think Trinidad and Tobago. We have to think when we travel, the kind of requirements that are definitely needed. So credit cards are excellent, but what I'm hearing is the management of it.
Management of it.
Yes,
Exactly.
the management of it, because you don't want to find yourself in a financial hole
Yes.
and then the interest keep going up and then you are frustrated. All the money you plan to do certain things you can't because they are calling you.
Yes.
I need my money.
Exactly.
The interest.
You get your letters.
Yeah.
Everything is coming
Of
at you.
course, of course.
Discipline.
Yes. So it comes back to discipline.
Yes.
It comes back to being intentional about your finances and making the necessary decisions that would ensure that you don't get into that hole, that financial hole. That is very, very important.
Yeah.
Well, I want to shift gears somewhat and talk about retirement planning. How should a young person, for instance, approach retirement savings versus someone, let's say, in their 50s?
Okay, that's interesting. So when you are young and you decide to do retirement, that's an investment. You are investing in yourself. You're thinking about your future. After I work all these years, after I'm stopped working, I don't want my lifestyle to drop. So you're thinking about your future.
Yes.
When you're in your 50s, you're doing risk management because you're not thinking about what I'm going to do, and you're thinking about, will I have enough money to pay my bills after I'm finished working? So you're managing risk at this time. It come like, how to put it, like a scary kind of thing. Because you're now thinking about it. You might have about 10 or 15 more years to work. It's so long. But now you're now thinking, if utility bills don't go away, exactly, you have to eat. Everything is still there. So now you're doing that risk management. It's not an investment anymore. It's risk management.
Wow. Because, many times you have persons and persons working all their lives and sending the children to school and making sure the family home is well. We have transportation. Now the children are ready for college. We get them off to college. And then after that, when the house is more or less both of you alone, the children are all out, now you start to think, many persons now start to think, wow, retirement. What do is it that I'm going to get a pension? Is it that I'm going to get NIS? Is it that I had a retirement plan or a savings? And at that point is where they start to think about it. I know a lot of senior citizens, and it's really, really rough because sometimes, unfortunately, they would raise their children and they would go on to be lawyers and doctors and teachers and whatever, in whatever field. And many times these children don't really look back. They will give you a call now and again, but the reality is they are now living their lives.
Exactly.
And I'm just saying that we have got to think that when the children are gone, you still have to live.
And it comes back to when you ask about the couples,
Yes,
young
and
couples.
starting.
That is part of the conversation.
Okay.
You're building a family now. Oh, great, lovely. After the children go on with their lives, what are you two going to do?
Right.
Start planning your retirement. Okay, the children go and we finish with them. Now it's time for us to enjoy ourselves. What are we going to do? So, make sure you get your retirement plan in place.
Right.
So when that time reaches, you're not fidgeting.
Of course.
You're not looking around, you're not scratching your head and not thinking, I have to go back to work.
Right. Or even depend on the same children.
Exactly. Have your own independence.
Right.
So that is part of your conversation.
Well, that's a very serious conversation to have, Zena. A very, very serious conversation to have. So, ideally, what is the best time to really start thinking retirement?
As soon as you start working.
Okay. So, from the time you get your first job, start thinking retirement.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Wow.
Like some of us might say, okay, well, I need to do this. But ideally, start as soon as you get your first job.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. My mind just ran on as we're talking about retirement and stuff. Sometimes you're young and fresh out of school and you start your first job, you get your second job, you get your third job, you're buying this car and you want this car and that car, and you're not even thinking about a piece of land, right? You're not even thinking, you haven't 20 and 30 pairs of shoes. Listen, I was in a certain place and I was so amazed. I saw this gentleman's shoe rack. Well, it was more than a rack. And I checked 30 pairs in boxes, and then there were more. And I'm like, listen, I was blown away. Because in my mind, I'm saying, but you're a young guy. Would you do it close to 40 pairs of shoes? Could you really?
I was speaking to
Priorities?
exactly. I was speaking to a young lady recently, and she said, "I love bags."
Okay.
She said, "I have bags, and I don't like cheap bags." So she buy bags.
Yeah.
$600 bag.
Wow.
And I said, as much as you love bags and everybody have their tick,
Yes.
you have to prioritize.
Of course.
I don't mind you buying your bags. I don't mind you buying your shoes. I don't mind you buying the clothes, even the car.
Right.
But you have to put things in priority.
Of course.
You are young, yes, good, but you will get old.
At some
And
point,
what are you going to do?
your bags won't help you at that time. Because I'm just thinking, I mean, how many bags could you? I mean, I'm a lady too. I love bags, but I would not say and I'm speaking right to the camera. I wouldn't say I'm the type that will overdo on bags or overdo on shoes. Yeah, I got a couple shoes, well, more than two, but I wouldn't say that I'm the type that will overdo on maybe accessories. Oh my gosh, I'll have a little. The accessories kind of, I might overdo a little. But I try to be as disciplined. And of course, it's not about me, we are bringing the program for all of us.
Exactly.
So I was just remembering that experience. And in my mind, I wondered if they were probably thinking, if that young man was probably thinking anything about retirement with those 40 pairs of shoes.
And it also comes back to your money style. Are you a spender? And we talk about that earlier. Are you a spender? Are you a saver?
Right.
What is your money style?
Okay. But some persons, and I've heard it already, there'll be some persons who most of the things they would hardly buy anything for themselves, but they would save. And you would hear persons condemning these people because they just see something, love it, and go out and just buy it without even thinking, without even having money to go to work the next week. Or with so many different activities taking place on the island. And of course, we know what time it is. Some persons, they would just spend. And then next month, they cannot cover the rent. So my thing is, how has that been working out?
Exactly. And savers are
Meticulous. Yes.
thinkers.
Okay.
Even though they wouldn't buy the thing for themselves, but they know exactly when they are going to buy it.
Okay.
Maybe Christmas is coming. They say, okay, I have to get an outfit. I am a saver.
Okay.
But I do buy things for myself.
Right. Because you put yourself first.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'm disciplined.
Yes.
I save. And then growing up with my mommy, you have to save. So she taught me a lot about money.
Oh, so you're in the perfect field. You were born to do this.
No, actually, yes. My mommy taught me, and I'm from the East.
Right.
So where we used to save, post office.
Oh.
Right? So she makes sure every August you save, she'll give you money, you save, and she dress you up, you walk up to the post office, and you deposit your money.
In the post office?
In the post office. I go now with my age. In the post office.
I have never heard of that.
Because as I mentioned, I'm from the East, right? So that is where we used to save when we were children.
Oh, okay.
Right? And she'll also give you money in case anything happens. She give you $10. Please do not go and spend that $10 so that you get licks. That is not for snacks.
Right. So you'll have your snack money separate?
Yes.
Wow.
Or she will buy snacks because she doesn't like you to spend money on snacks too much. So she will buy.
Right. And then give you extra. So is it that, how should I put this? Is it that we are having a society of persons who don't save as much as before? And what is causing that? Is it the glamour, too many beautiful things like the handbags or the shoes? Or in my case, the accessories? I am guilty. I'm sorry. I'm guilty.
I think guidance
Yeah.
and education, that is one part. And remember, you have social media. So everybody wants to look like somebody.
Okay.
Imposter syndrome.
Yes.
So it's like, I want to look like so by so, and so they find the money to go. And sometimes they'll be pressured.
Yeah.
They find the money to go and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but discipline, again, come back to that.
Right.
Discipline, that is where it all starts.
Well, it starts and ends.
Yes.
Because if it starts, yes, but if you don't continue,
Exactly.
then you would still have the fallout at the end. Well, Lisa, in all this economic uncertainty globally, the question is constantly being asked, where do I put my money? Where do I invest? What say you on the matter?
We'll have different investment portfolios you can use. It have the mutual fund. There's your retirement fund.
Right.
Very important. You can buy stocks, you can buy shares. And that goes with your risk tolerance as well.
Okay.
So if you have high risk tolerance, you can go for the high stocks and shares and things. Today you see it high, tomorrow you see it low.
Okay.
But once you know it, once it's long term, it pays off at the end.
All right.
Right? If it's not as risky, not as risky as some persons, then you look for the mutual funds. And I must say that as well, your insurances, because we do have investment. We do have investment as well with insurances. But what you can do as well is talk to a financial advisor.
Okay.
When you speak to that person, they'll know, okay, the risk tolerance, very low.
Right.
So this is where we'll advise you to go.
Okay.
If it's high, then they say, okay, we'll put you here, you buy some stuff here. So that is an individual conversation. So we'll know exactly who you are and where to advise you.
Right. But even as you spoke about a financial consultant, many times you would hear persons, they would have consultants in so many other areas. They would have marriage counselors and consultants. They would have, if you have a business, they would have some consultancy services. But for your personal financial, you don't really hear much persons alluding to that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because it's like everybody think I should spend my money.
I could handle my savings.
Yeah. But in the long run, when everything is happening around you and falling apart and you're trying to figure out, I just don't know where I put my money. I get paid this month when my money goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you have a financial advisor, they can advise you and even help you along until you come to that place where you can manage.
Right. But of course, one has to come to the fact or the reality that I need help in this. Yes. Because if you believe that you can handle it out, I could handle my finances on my own. I don't need anybody to guide me. But sometimes you just need a little help. And it's okay to ask for help.
Exactly.
But sometimes persons feel I've got it all together, or I don't want this person in my business, or I don't want it to appear as if I cannot manage my finances, when in fact you need help. So if you need help, ask for help.
Exactly.
Ask for help, because at the end of the day and in the long run, it will be to your benefits.
Exactly.
Because if you are guided and you have the professionals like yourself to be able to guide you and probably come up with a budget, assist you with making a plan and sticking to that plan. If you know you're going to the grocery with $500, if you wanted to buy certain things, you have to fit it within that. So sometimes it may mean I cannot buy the shrimp this month. I may be able to fit it in next month. And then that is the discipline. So there is a price. What I'm hearing is that there is a price to be paying. Exactly. If you want to be able to manage your finances and handle your finances in a fiscally wise manner, there is a price to be paid.
Exactly.
Many are not willing to pay the price, but for those who are, I could see success.
Exactly.
I could see them attaining and reaching for their goals, and of course, with the help of people like yourself.
Exactly.
Well, I think
here to help.
yes, definitely. Well, I want to talk about insurance. When people start looking for insurance, they can be quickly overwhelmed by the various terms, example, term insurance, whole life insurance, etc. So as someone qualified in this area, can you simplify this for our viewers? And I know we're going to take a short break shortly, but we're going to start and then continue after the break.
Okay. So yes, I know a lot of people when they hear the jargons of insurance, they get like, what is that? So term insurance is the most simplest and affordable type of insurance. But as the word said, term, it is for a specific period of time. So it can be up to a certain age, let's say up to age, let's call it a age 65, or it could be for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, right? For a specific period of time. It doesn't hold any cash value in it. It is a death benefit only. So if the person who is insured hasn't died within that period, it's finished.
Okay.
Right? So that's the term insurance. So we have whole life insurance, which is a permanent coverage for the whole of your life. It goes up to 100.
Wow.
Right? Now with this one, within the years, you are covered. And it builds a cash value as well.
Okay.
So that is why I was saying it have investment as well in insurance, because what we do is that we invest part of your premium for you.
Okay.
Right? And basically that is simple. And it's like, that is what whole life is about. And there's endowment. Endowment is, it goes up to a certain age as well.
Okay.
But the sweet thing about endowment is when it matures, you get the coverage.
Okay.
So let's say,
let's take for you that. We're going to take that short break and then we continue with endowment after the break. Stay with us.
If you're wondering where to find top-tier quality tiles and products to refurbish or renovate your wall, floor or pool, well, your worry is over. Come to D-Cell's Tile and Ceiling Center, Store Bay Local Road, opposite the Bonnecourt Primary School, Tobago, where you will find porcelain, mosaic and ceramic tiles of the highest quality guaranteed. D-Cell's Tile and Ceiling Center also stocks thinset, grout, tile cutters and yes, windows. Plus a friendly smile and service that's second to none awaits you. So forget the hassle and get all the quality tiles you need right here in Tobago at D-Cell's Tile and Ceiling Center. Call us today at 460-8802, 639-8281. Opens Monday to Saturday from 9 a.m.
Do you need electrical and plumbing supplies from construction to finish? Then check out Voodoo's Enterprises Limited, Milford Road, Canaan, Tobago. Get LED bulbs and fixtures, septic tanks, water pumps, laminate flooring, press cut power tools, and so much more. Open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. Call 280-2050 or 660-4970. Voodoo's Enterprises Limited. Tobago. It's time once again for the highly anticipated KPPM's 4th Annual Business Expo, Saturday, 1st November from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Birchwood Legacy Park in Lowlands, Tobago. Come out in your numbers and get familiar with various businesses as they display their goods and services, from jewelry to plants, draperies to household items, tiles to beautiful clothing, and so much more. Delicacies, food, and drinks will also be on sale. Don't you miss this. KPPM's Business Expo, Saturday, 1st November, Birchwood Legacy Park, Lowlands. Call 376-8798.
Dianne, host of Transforming Lives One at a Time, and I would like to introduce you to our brand new segment, Good Vibes, Good News. And this is where you have the opportunity to highlight your good news. You can send your 90 seconds video to our WhatsApp number 868-701-2099. That's 868-701-2099. Let's hear some of the good news that we never hear about. Good vibes, good news. Inspiring hope. Celebrating wins. Truly grateful.
Welcome back to the program, Transforming Lives One at a Time. Well, just before the break, we were talking about endowment. Lisa, tell us for those viewers who may not know, when we talk about endowment, what do we mean?
Okay, so endowment is a life insurance, but it is also an investment. So what do I mean by that? You get covered, like how you get covered for life insurance. Any death occurs, you get, the beneficiary will get the coverage or the sum assured. When it matures, so let's say you go up to, you said, okay, I want it for up to age 65, and it matures, you get the whole, let's say $1 million, because I like to talk big money.
Right.
You get $1 million,
Yes.
tax free.
Okay.
Yeah, so with that part, you know for sure it's an investment that you're doing. It comes as you could use it for your retirement, and then you could reinvest that money wherever you wish to. You could reinvest it, and it will build another investment portfolio for yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are the main types of insurance, and how does a family know which insurance is the right one for them?
Okay, so the main types of insurance, we have different types of insurance. So we have life insurance. Under life insurance, we have term life, we have whole life, we have endowment, we have universal life. And we have critical illness. And critical illness is, for example, if the person should be diagnosed, and I'm using the word diagnose, diagnosing yourself
Right.
with like stroke, cancer, heart attack, coma, blindness, etc. Right? You get the sum assured. So let's say you're insured for 500,000. If you're diagnosed with any of these, you will get the 500,000 sum assured. But we have to investigate. I would have to put that in.
Of course.
Right? We have retirement. That's an investment as well. We have auto insurance. We have keyman insurance. We have home insurance for your home. If you're going to do a mortgage as well, that comes under term.
Okay.
So people just go like mortgage insurance, but like we advise you to do like a term insurance when you're going to the bank and stuff, right?
Okay.
What else do we have? And home insurance, I must say you can insure everything in your house.
Okay. Really?
Even your jewelry,
All right.
your paintings that you might pay how much millions for.
Yes.
You can insure all of that. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So it's a very comprehensive.
Yes.
So how does a family know which one is right for them? Is it that you have some consultation with them, you get to see what their needs are, assess their needs and advise to suit?
Exactly. So I will always say that is an individual conversation.
Yeah.
That's where we sit down and we have a chat with them. Because, people look for insurance when they're not building a family.
Right.
They have a new car, a new home. So everybody needs and goals and aspirations will be different.
Right.
So this is where we sit down as a financial advisor and we speak to you and know what is your needs and your goals and we do recommendations on that. Yeah.
Understood. So, wow. Insurance.
Yeah.
It's a big thing now.
Yeah. And I must put this in. When we talk about the emergency fund upfront,
Yeah.
right? So there are some persons I know that maybe cannot have an emergency fund for themselves.
Okay.
We can do a little hack here, right? Put your insurance in place So if you get critically ill with any long-term illness,
Yes.
you don't have to get yourself financially burdened with that.
Right.
This is where the insurance comes in, right?
Okay.
Sudden deaths, life insurance.
Yes.
You don't have to say, oh my Lord, where am I getting the money from? I didn't expect this to happen. You have children and stuff like that. Life insurance, you're covered. So you get the money from the insurance company to bury your loved ones.
Right.
Retirement, might lose your job. You have a retirement plan. You can go in and get your money.
Wow.
So these are little hacks.
Yes. Right. So in other words, it's a win-win situation.
Exactly. You do your investment. You don't have enough money. You can do some investment according to your risk tolerance.
Right.
Could be amount to a lot. Right? Do an endowment. You can say, okay, when I retire, I want to get $1 million. Do an endowment.
Right.
Where, when it matures at age 65, we actually call you. They actually call you.
Oh, so persons don't have to run you down for it.
No, we call you, we 65, we call you a few months before, start to get your papers in order. So when you reach that age, you get your money.
Yes. I wanted to bring this into the mix because I want, I know sometimes, you're conducting an interview and the listener or the viewer might be saying, Dianne, ask her this for me.
Right.
Because yes, we're hearing all the upside and that kind of thing, but we can't be naive that some persons have problems and issues with certain insurance companies.
Right.
They might be probably involved in an accident or the length of time that persons would have to wait. What happens within that time? Because a lot of persons, they would just be very frustrated and say, well, I sent in all my documents and I know we didn't really plan this question, but I am asking for the viewer who is probably now prompting me to ask this question.
Well, I would say, let me use my experience. Last year, my daughter died and I had insurance in a insurance company. And I got that money within 2 weeks.
Really?
Really. I carried all my stuff, everything, what they need, I carried it in 2 weeks' time. So that I don't know how to put it, but sometimes, let me be frank, there are persons who lies to the insurance company.
Okay, well, yes, we'll always have that.
I'm that. Lying to the insurance company, okay, for example, I might ask, are you suffering any form of illness? And you might say no. Deep down, you know that you have something going on.
Right.
And when they investigate, they realize, but this was happening before she got the insurance.
Okay.
No, that will tie up every single thing. So that could be one part of it. Maybe according to who you're speaking with, according to the company. It have different things that can make that happen.
Right.
But I am giving you my experience. That did not happen with me.
But in terms of the for cars, like when you get into an accident, because of course we know, we live in Trinidad and Tobago. Accidents, I don't know. People just not taking their time on the road. They're just upset. They are just driving with their phones. So many times I would be on the road and these drivers and they're trying to drive with one hand and you can't concentrate on the road as much because you have this device in your hand. We have hands free. So for persons with accidents, because we know there are so many accidents, is it that because of the process and many times you have to head to the Trinidad, to the main company,
The police station.
not even the police station, but I know that takes. That in itself is another thing, that the length of time that it will take to get that report and to ensure all the information is correct. But sometimes I know it has to go to the head office, which is based in Trinidad. So is it that because of that, so many delays, it's a possibility?
The process. Sometimes the process takes a while.
The investigation.
And so that have a lot going on because you have to get both drivers. You have to make sure the police was involved. You have to get the court. So the process of that might take a little while.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, all things being equal, I guess once you get your police report and you send in the relevant information, your court and that kind of thing, I guess sometimes you just have to wait it out. But I know a lot of persons take a lot of time. They're not happy with the time.
Exactly.
And as I said, I'm plugging that in for the viewers that have prompted me. Well, Lisa, as we begin to bring the curtains down on this program for today, I want to give you the opportunity to leave one thing that you would like to resonate with our viewers, or maybe touch on an area that we did not touch on.
Okay. So one, I would like you to have a budget. Make a budget. If you have a partner, sit down and make your budget. Maybe sharing things, right? I always look at multi-million companies, the government, they always have a budget. They work with a budget.
Yeah.
So we as individuals also need to work with a budget. Stick to your plans, stick to your goals, and be disciplined.
Yes.
Thank you.
And we come back to that discipline again.
Yes.
Be disciplined, be intentional, stick to the plan. Don't have 40 pairs of shoes. Just put it in that there. And 50 and 60 handbags. I mean, after all, how many handbags and shoes can you really use in your lifetime?
I mean, I remember Dale always says, his father used to say, how much pair of shoes you could wear at one time?
Right.
So much pair of pants you could wear at one time. And everybody have their tick, as I will say.
Yeah.
But be mindful.
Yeah.
Be disciplined.
Of course. And especially when you have a family depending on you. Because before, you may have been alone. You may have been a loner. And you can do as you like. You could buy 40 pairs of shoes. You could buy 30 handbags. But now you have a family. So you now have to take up that responsibility and be able to put yourself in that position where you can make fiscally wise choices. Because not only is for your spending, but someone else is dependent upon you. All right. Well, let me say thank you so much to my guest today, Lisa Frank-Phillips, for handling this topic so well. Today we're talking about finances and wise financial planning. All right. I am certain that the information shared with you here today would be of benefit. And remember, if you need help, ask for help. You can check out a consultancy service or something. Check out someone who is versed in that area so that you will be able to make fiscally wise choices. All right, this is where we leave things for today. I'm your host, Dianne. Always happy being here with you. As usual, I leave you with the definition of transformation, which is an internal shift that brings us into alignment with our fullest potential. Hey, we've got this. See you next time.
Tobago, it's time once again for the highly anticipated KPPM's 4th Annual Business Expo, Saturday, 1st November from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Birchwood Legacy Park in Lowlands, Tobago. Come out in your numbers and get familiar with various businesses as they display their goods and services, from jewelry to plants, draperies to household items, tiles to beautiful clothing, and so much more. Delicacies, food, and drinks will also be on sale. Don't you miss this. KPPM's Business Expo, Saturday, 1st November, Birchwood Legacy Park, Lowlands. Call 376-8798. Hi, I am Dianne, host of Transforming Lives One at a Time, and we are in a celebratory mode as we celebrate our first anniversary. Yes, 1 year of bringing to you programs that are relevant, inspiring, educational, uplifting, and informative. I would like to sincerely thank Almighty God and you, our treasured viewers, for your continuous love and support for the program. I look forward to many more programs as we continue on this journey of transforming lives one at a time. Thank you, thank you, thank you.